Hello everybody and welcome to another video. In this video I'm going to be looking back at the channel's last year in 2024 and looking ahead in what I plan to do for 2025. So grab a brew, get comfortable, let's get waffling. Season's greetings everybody. So 2024 is come to an end and well, it will be ending in the next few days at least. So I thought I'd do this, take this time to do a video on looking back at the channel and kind of what we've done and what I've done and kind of what I would like to do for next year at least. So it's been an interesting year. It's had a lot of changes in my personal life. And that has probably been reflected in the channel itself. So first things first, obviously I moved into this place here with Mrs. Pointy back in February, which was really amazing, which was really good. It's quite nice to sort of obviously put a close to a chapter of me essentially living on my own for a few years. Which was really quite nice to actually move in with her. And then in May, I ended up starting a new job, which has been super cool. Lots of new challenges, completely new industry that I've never worked in before. And yeah, everything's going really well for that. Obviously, I was there for a few months, applied for a promotion, didn't get it, was very unlucky not to get it. But then a few months later, I got promoted anyway into a slightly lower position, but essentially kind of training for that higher position later on, which was a really super cool. And yeah, it's been super fun. Now, obviously, I do now work nights, which has had a knock on to how I do content, which I'm hoping to change. So 24 has been an interesting year when it comes to content. Obviously, I initially set myself the goal of hitting 3,500 subscribers, and currently at the time of recording my channel is now at 3,644 subscribers, which is amazing. So yeah, that's just nuts. Like the first year, my entire goal like last year, my entire goal was to get into the YouTube partner program. And this year was to try to sort of grow the channel. And I think in a total we've had like nearly, I think over 1,200 subscribers, if not a little bit more, maybe nearly close to 1,300 subscribers this year, which is absolutely dope. It's amazing. Like I don't do this for a job. Like this is just purely as a hobby for me, and a way of sort of sharing my passion for the hobby. And sort of try to bring in a little bit of positivity and sometimes a little bit of realism, because there is a lot of clickbait, negativity, drama farming out there in the internet space, especially for things like the Henry Cavill, Amazon Prime sort of crap that we've seen. And even today, I seen a video talking about how retailers are abandoning Games Workshop because of the way they are, because they have to put a negative spin on everything because that gets the clicks, and that's just not true. And a lot of it is just complete crap. So these channels, like, I wish they would just go away. And the fact you can always tell that these channels are not necessarily hobby related or anything to do with our hobby is the biggest thing is they call what we do collecting figurines. We don't collect figurines, we collect, build and paint and play with miniatures. We don't call them figurines. So that's, if you hear a YouTube content creator call it figurines, and they're generally American and they're generally talking about, you know, politics, because that's what they do. That's all they've got is to bring politics into everything. You can generally tell that they're grifting pieces of shit who are only in it for drama farming. And that's not what this channel is about. And hopefully this year I've tried to combat a lot of that. I've tried to sort of laugh at things about the whole custodies, female custody thing. I've tried to sort of bring it into a little bit more realism. I'm calling both sides of the argument out. The whole Henry Cavill thing of calling content creators out for making blatant clickbait crap. And generally just having fun and trying to keep it positive and light, and that's because that's what the whole hobby's about. That's what it is. We're here to play with toy soldiers, and that's it. So I think this year has been a fun year. I think with the challenges in my personal life, continually to try to make content. My highlights were like the Age of Sigmar 4th edition launch, where I did a video every single day on every single faction, which was like getting up. I was waking up from night shift and literally making a brew, sitting down and making a video, to try and to sort of get that sort of momentum every day. Really kind of shown because the channel grew so quickly over that period, which was amazing to see. And really sort of really enjoying sort of exploring different aspects. I even dabbled in trying to do lore videos, which I think I might do a little bit more of. I mean, if you want me to do more, feel free to let me know in the comments below. But yeah, this year was definitely good, and to hit the 3,500 subscribers, which was my personal goal, was just phenomenal. And then to keep going way past it was just really, really good. So yeah, it was definitely been a fun, interesting year, and it was nice to sort of do podcasts with other content creators as well. Like I said, the hobby, the Warhammer guys, Luke and Simon and Ben over at 90% Geek. It was really cool to sort of do some stuff with that. So yeah, but looking forward into 2025, one of the biggest things I want to do more of is getting back to what this channel was originally about, which was painting tutorials. So the camera is here. Like, I've got an entirely new desk now. I can paint a lot easier. I can use the computer and paint, and it's a lot more comfortable. I do want to upgrade this little thing here, which is the microphone, and then I think I'm pretty much good. Maybe position that camera somewhere else, so to maybe a little bit over to this side a little bit, but again, I'll be tweaking things. But I do need a new cable for this camera, and then I can get back to doing tutorials again. And I want to get back to doing painting tutorials. I think that's kind of where I need to be, kind of what I need to do. I will still do the talky head stuff, which is what this is, and I want to kind of sort of do that as well. Obviously, I've got the larger projects to do. I've got the bolt gun up the top, the bolt pistol, and the helmet, which I'm going to be working on over the course of the year. But yeah, it's lots of cool stuff that I want to do. Like, I've got the airbrush for Christmas, and obviously today was really good. Went down to my local hobby store and picked up some supplies. So I've got some airbrush thinner, and I've got some airbrush cleaner. So, you know, need to get a couple of swan neck bottles to transfer these into, and then I just need to get myself some gloss varnish and some oil paints and odorless thinners, and then we can actually then start the Horus Heresy project, which is one project that I will be working on a lot next year. So as for projects wise, for hobby projects, personal projects, I'm going to be finishing off the Howling Griffins, and then they'll be getting rid. And my main army for Warhammer 40k is going to be the Blood Angels, which I've got a list. I'm going to be doing a video of that in the new year about what the list is and how I'm going to go ahead and move forward with that, and then start charting the progress for that video. And I've got like a format that I think I need, but I need the camera up and running before I can do that. I want to be doing a little bit more old world. I've got my resin stuff that's arrived from overseas, which is kind of cool. So I'm going to be doing a little bit more of getting that painted up, and going to be predominantly using the airbrush for that. And then obviously I've got the Horus Heresy project, which you will see in due time. I may get back into Age of Sigmar. I was getting quite excited about the Iron Jaws, and then I read the book, and wow, that book's a shit show. I might have to do a separate video on that entirely on its own, because that video, that book is bad. Really, really terribly done. Probably still end up buying it if I do get back in Age of Sigmar and go for them. But yeah, it's an interesting sort of what they've done. Like, it's just so lazy. It really is terrible. But yeah, so there's a lot of stuff. But like painting tutorials, I want to do painting tutorials for all the first founding chapters, the Chaos Space Marines, obviously the Empress Children after yesterday's preview teaser of Fulgrim. I like that model, has to be on my shelf. I have to be, I need Fulgrim. So there's probably a good chance that an Empress Children army at some point next year is going to be getting started. But I want to do a classic sort of take on them, that black pink sort of colour scheme that we've all like been used to seeing for the Empress Children over the years. I really want to do that real bright, in your face pink and the black, which is just so cool. So I will probably going to be doing a tutorial for them, and I'll probably do a tutorial for the Horus Heresy as well. Sort of more of a grim dark, because my Blood Angels are going to be painted more like the studio. I'll probably use the airbrush to sort of get the base coat down, and then I'll be using a standard normal brush for everything else. The Horus Heresy is going to be very much like akin to how the Cult of Paint and Metis Miniatures sort of do their stuff with the airbrushing the colours, like base coating everything, getting the decals on, and then like sealing everything with a gloss varnish, oil washing, sealing it with a matte varnish, and then doing a little bit of weathering and stuff on them, and then putting them on some really cool bases. That's the kind of thing I want to do with that, so I'm probably going to do a series of videos looking and exploring that for the Horus Heresy Legions, and try to get as many tutorials as I can. Now obviously I do work nights, so I'm not too sure how frequent these were going to come out. I'm going to try to get one out one a week, maybe probably push that to one a fortnight. So let's see, 52 weeks, so that will be essentially what, 26 tutorials in a year. I can potentially do that, maybe a little bit more, because some of them, obviously the airbrush will speed things up. But yeah, it's I'm definitely, you know, really wanting to get that content down. So if there's tutorials that you want me to do, let me know in the comments below, and I can do them. So it's not just going to be painting the Space Marines and doing Horus Heresy. If there's a specific set of range of models like Eldari or Takari or Tau or Orcs that you want me to do, I can definitely do that, and I'm more than happy of getting a tutorial up and running for that. And I would like to kind of get back to doing a bit of like live streaming during the day, like I used to on Twitch and in the early days. I'm not too sure if I'll like multi-stream. I could potentially multi-stream, have it on YouTube, but stream on Twitch. I'm not a big fan of Twitch as a platform. I don't really agree with how they do things. It's kind of one of the main reasons why I left. They're not a great platform to work on, but I could kind of do the two. To be fair, I could look into that, definitely. And yeah, and obviously, there's Space Marine 2, which I'm always going to be playing from now on, because it's like my favorite computer game right now. But yeah, it's going to be fun. I'm super excited for what 2025 brings. This year has definitely had a lot of sort of change in my personal life. Next year, there's none of that on the horizon, so I want to be more settled and more focused on what I want to get done with the channel. So in that, so I normally end this video with like a goal with where I want the channel this time next year. So let's see if we can break 5,000 subscribers. I think that would be amazing. I think hitting 5K would be super awesome. I mean, that's basically just over 1,300 subscribers. But yeah, basically 1,350 subscribers, 360 subscribers. I reckon I could do that. I think we could do that, and I think with a lot of good tutorials and other content, I reckon we could definitely do that. So, definitely. I've always dreamt of getting the channel to 5K. That was always been my sort of like what I would love the channel to be. Like at least 5,000. 10,000 is the dream. But I can just continue working on that. I see other channels like Juan from Gerando Miniatures, and think he's well over 100K. Fair play to him. He's a great guy and well deserved. You know, but I don't think I'm ever going to be that lucky. Um, so you know, I've got my goals, my personal goals, 5K for next year. Overall, my ultimate personal goal would be 10K. That's not going to happen, but I think 5K is reasonable, so we'll do that. We'll see where we are next year in regards to that. And all it takes is one viral video. All it takes is one viral video for it to go baloo, and then it explodes. It's crazy, and I've not yet had one of them, so it'd be interesting to see how that goes. But yeah, definitely looking forward to next year. Next year is hobby wise is going to be pretty cool. There's a lot of cool stuff on the horizon. A lot of stuff that I've been I've filtered in. I'm going to do a video talking about rumor channels and why I don't think they're good and why I don't do rumor videos as much, even though I do get given information from friends that work in Games Workshop. And why I don't do like what Valrak and stuff does. And TDL they are, but I'll save it for the video that I'm planning on doing. Generally, you don't, you know, a lot of the times these channels make things up, and a lot of it is 100% BS, and they haven't been told, and it's just purely done for clicks. So you know, I'll go into that in the video. Other videos I want to do is talk about Primarchs. Primarchs and how they're going to return. It's definitely a series of videos I want to do. Now that Fulgrim's coming back, you know, they've kind of got nowhere else to go now in regards to Primarchs, or have they? So we're gonna do a couple of videos talking about, you know, which Primarchs can come back, and then probably do a video on each of them of how I think they could come back, what law they could use to justify bringing them back, and potentially, you know, what their miniature would look like if they actually did that, which I think would be a fun series of videos, because it's just pure geeking out about Primarchs, and you gotta love Primarchs. If you like 30k, you like Primarchs, and if you're not a fan of them in 40k, look, they're gonna be here to stay. They're definitely coming in. It doesn't matter if you like them or not. Like, Games Workshop likes them. Games Workshop shareholder likes the money that they bring in. And yeah, so you know, it's going to happen. And obviously, there's the TV stuff. I definitely want to be doing more of this TV stuff. I didn't do a reaction video on the secret levels because it was already done and dusted, and it was kind of, I feel like that was kind of overshadowed a little bit by the Henry Cavill Amazon announcement that kind of happened the same day. So I might go back and do a secret level sort of reaction, sort of my take on the Warhammer 40k episode, and look at that. But yeah, like, that's super exciting, and that's definitely something that I really want to delve into in the channel when it starts happening even more. Of really sort of like hunkering down and looking into that. Yeah, and also collabs. I'd like to do some stuff with other channels and work with other channels that sort of have my enthusiasm for the hobby as much as I do, and really sort of share that sort of hobby love. I do think that some of the channels that I've reached out to were a lot bigger than me, and therefore they didn't really care about me because they don't get anything out of me. You know, they're not interested in smaller channels, and you can kind of see that when you look at the influencers. You know, you kind of sort of they kind of only sort of work amongst themselves, if you get me. And the kind of smaller channels like myself and a lot of the others, you know, we don't really sort of fit into that, even though we may bring a lot of value and a lot of passion to the hobby and that conversation. They're not interested because it doesn't bring in the clicks and it doesn't bring in the views, and they're not interested. And I've had many channels, be it from Valrak, even though he decides to try to laugh at that, he was well up for doing a podcast, and even asked me what dates, but things were never settled on that, so we never went ahead of it. From even Pardo SN Battle Reports to wanting to do them. But nothing was ever agreed, nothing was ever settled, and you know, it was a bit meh, which is a shame, because you know, I would love to have had that conversation about the certain aspects of the game that they play in the hobby, and the sort of their sort of views on stuff. And it would have been quite interesting to sort of have had that chat with them, but you know, it never happened. So if you are a smaller channel, or a channel around about the same size as me, and you want to do some collab stuff, you want to do a couple of videos together, you know, hit me up. You can drop me a private message over on Instagram. There's a link in the bottom below. You know, hit me up, and then we can have a chat about it, and we can do something, and we can work together. That would be pretty cool. But yeah, it's all about the community really, and it's all about sort of being a community. And I generally think that the influencers are literally only in it for themselves. And I'm all about, you know, sharing the hobby love. But that's the video. I think I've rambled on a bit. I'm definitely 2025 is going to be a good year. I feel it in my fingers, feel it in my bones. And this year has been phenomenal. So I just like to give all of you that has supported me over 2024 a massive thank you. I probably wouldn't be doing what I'm doing on YouTube without any of you. You have definitely made it an amazing place, and I'm starting to get regular people in my comment section, which is really cool. I keep saying that I need to do it. I do need to get the Discord up and running for you people to have a place to hang out in regarding the channel, and create a community around the channel. So that will definitely be happening in the new year. I've already started building it already, and I will get it all finished off for the new year. There'll be areas there to a members area if you decide to become a paid member, for you to hang out and do members only stuff. There will be an area for everybody else, and then there will be a couple of little channel areas for voice channels for things like Space Marine 2 and jumping in and playing Space Marine 2 with myself or other people that you want to play. So a very inclusive sort of place there to hang out, purely for the hobby love, and all of the games that I enjoy. And you could even bring some your ideas for games that you enjoy and have that conversation there. So yeah. But that's the video, everybody. So again, like, I'm just going to ask this: if you do like what I'm doing, please hit that subscribe button. Like, it's completely free, doesn't cost you anything, and it helps channels out so much. Ringing that bell and hitting the little like button for the video does so much for channels and the algorithm and everything else. It really does help us a lot. So, you know, please do that, and obviously comment and let me know what you've enjoyed of 2024, what you want to see in 2025. If there's any tutorials that you want me to do, let me all know that in the comments below, and then we'll get that sorted. And yeah, but from me, that's it. Thank you very much for all the support. You are all legends, and I hope you had an amazing Christmas, and I hope you have an amazing new year. I'm not necessarily planning any videos for the rest of this year, but we'll see. Games Workshop might drop some teasers, and then I'll have to make one. But if not, I will see you in 2025. And yeah, have a good one, everybody. Goodbye for now.